Okay guys, Mr. Dylan here. We're doing a really cool drawing today. Let's get started. We're gonna do capybara underwater, drawing a picture of a jellyfish. Totally normal. All right, here we go. We like to start with circles and ovals. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just draw an oval right about here, just to go around and around and drop that oval down. And then we'll do another one. This one's gonna be a little more egg-shaped, like this. It's for our capybara's head. And then let's just draw in some quick ovals for the legs. We're gonna have one right here, the leg that's on this side of the body. And then we'll do a little C curve here for the one on the other side. And of course, he's kind of swimming while he's doing this. So I'm gonna put an oval right here. And then we'll do one right here, coming out like this. This is where he's drawing. All right. Looking good so far. Next, we're gonna put in our jellyfish. So what we're doing right now is we're blocking the whole picture in with just simple shapes. So here, jellyfish is gonna be hanging out right here, the model for our capybara. So we'll just do that circle. And then I'm just gonna start off with a couple of wavy tentacles or tendrils. I guess jellyfish don't have tentacles, but there we go, just some of those. And then of course, let's sort of have the ocean floor down here. So I'm just gonna draw a straight line right across, right there, and then maybe we can see, maybe it's pretty shallow. So up here, we're gonna have the top of the ocean. It's just some wavy waves, just like that. Maybe bring that down a bit so we can see it a little better. I'm gonna put them a little bit lower. There we go. Just like that. Wavy waves. Okay, nice. We also need the piece of paper that our capybara is drawing on, so let's do that. And I'm gonna make it a little bit wavy too. Just like that. So it looks like it's kind of floating underwater. All right, now that we've blocked it all in, let's add some details. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some seaweed here, also very wavy. Wavy, 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 maybe a little one here. Just like that. That's looking pretty good. Now let's get to drawing the details of our capybara. First thing, we'll keep it easy. Let's just start with his little claws. I'm just gonna put 3 little toes or claws on each foot there. And then let's get this face or head drawn in. Capybaras have kind of blocky heads. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put in that little angle right there. That's for his brow line. And then of course, let's do some cute little ears. Capybaras have tiny little ears. We'll do just a simple circle for his eye, just like that. And then the nose, they got kind of a big nose. So let's just do this. Looking good so far. And then let's just sketch our pencil. I'm gonna do a little tiny rectangle. We'll make it kind of a chubby pencil, like that. And then the eraser on top. And then let's add in his little eyebrow. He's pretty happy about this. We'll give him a little smile. He's smiling, just like that. Yeah, he's pretty happy with the drawing so far. Let's add some details to our little jellyfish here. I'm just gonna give him a wavy line along the bottom. And then let's give him some thicker tendrils that are also wavy. And then they just come down to maybe a little point here. Got one here, just like that. And then maybe there's one waving up here with this other one, like that. Okay, looking good. And because he's a jellyfish and kind of probably shiny, we'll put a couple of highlights on him like this. All right, let's add the little nails to that one. Now let's have him holding the pencil. And then of course he's drawing the jellyfish. So I'll put a simple version of the jellyfish in here. He's just on his way. So here, this last little tendril will stop where his pencil is. There we go. All right, that's looking pretty good. Now let's just adjust the body shape. So his head's going to come down, curve like this. Remember, when we block in with simple shapes, those are just our guidelines. So we are not worried about keeping all of those lines. And then it's going to come up like this. There we go. And then same, we'll do this, this. Okay, that's looking all right. Let's do a little bit of cleanup now. So I'm going to erase some of these lines, these guidelines. We don't need those anymore. Let's get rid of those. Maybe this one back here we don't need. The one going through the head. Get rid of that. What else? We could do one right here. Get that line. These lines and the little wavy little skirt that the fish is wearing. Get rid of this one. That's looking pretty good so far. And of course, he is underwater. So we need to put some sort of helmet on him, a breathing helmet. So I'm going to go around and around. And once I like the shape I'm making, I'm going to slowly let my pencil down. And then it's also going to do a little collar coming down like this. So we know it's sealed so he can breathe like that. And we'll put a couple little dots just like that. Let's do a little bit of cleanup on the arm here. That's kind of getting into our collar of his underwater mask. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good so far. So let's go ahead and start inking this with some nice clean lines. All right, here we go. So I'll start with my mask or helmet. Make my way around like this. Do the collar. Oops. Put some dots there. Those are holding it on his head. And then we'll go around for each ear. Come down. Around to that big blocky nose. Let's fill in his eye. We'll leave a little highlight though. A little tiny highlight right there. Make it a little bit bigger and cleaner. There we go. Eyebrow. Mouth, nose. Let's shade the nose in. This marker is almost done. Let me grab another one. It's a little bit better. Shade that nose in. Let's finish the body. And then see, sometimes I don't completely follow my lines. That's okay. Okay, swimming. Let's make this arm a little bit bigger. Those little nails are holding onto that pencil. There we go. There's our pencil. Go around his back and then this arm. 1, 2, 3. This pen's drying out too. All the pens are drying out. All right, let's try this one. That feels a little bit better. And around. Wobble, wobble. And then let's get our jellyfish. Oops, went a little crazy up there. That's okay. And then we'll do the thicker tendrils. Just like that. Just using the ones I drew as a guideline. Or maybe he's touching the drawing. Very happy with it. There we go. Let's do our seaweed here. All right, there goes my last marker. Let's do the water. Maybe we'll make it a little bit pointier like this. Like that. Okay, and let's just erase. And when you erase, try to hold your paper and erase between your pointy finger and your thumb. And just move around like that. That way it's not going to crumple. You don't want it to crumple while you're erasing. There we go. Just a little bit of cleanup. Oh, I didn't do the ocean floor. Carefully wipe away. Okay, we're going. Cleaning all these guys up. Always keeping my eraser sort of between my thumb and my pointing finger. All right, nice. Let's just do the ocean floor with whatever ink I have left in this. There we go. Okay, now let's add some color. So, our capybara, he is going to be brown. So I'm going to color him lightly with a brown colored pencil, just like this, and you color on the side rather than the point. If you color on the point, it takes a really long time, but if you color on the side right there, it really comes out quicker. Okay, there we go. Let's color his little head in. Now he's looking like a capybara. Do his little ears. Here we'll use the point because it's such a tiny area. And then let's add a little bit of shadow. Down below, we'll make his belly a little bit darker. Sort of in shadow. Same with each side of his legs. And maybe this back leg is in more shadow, so we'll make it a little bit darker than everything. Maybe under his mouth is a little bit darker. Maybe under his arm here has a bit of a shadow. There we go. All right, now let's do our jellyfish. Jellyfish is going to be pink. Same thing, I'm going to use the side. Using the side of my colored pencil and going pretty quickly, just to get a little bit of color in there. It doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. Of course, he hasn't started coloring his yet, so we're going to leave that. Let's get our seaweed going. Going to use some green. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Maybe it's a little bit darker at the bottom because there's not as much light down there, and the top gets a little bit lighter because it's closer to the surface. Okay, very good. Now, I'm using gray paper, so I can use white. So I'm gonna add a bit of white to his paper so we can really see the paper standing out. Okay, good. Oh, and I forgot one of his arms. This one, of course. Let's make this one a bit darker because it's on the other side of his body. And it's going to be in a little bit more shadow. Okay, now I'm going to switch to chalk pastel to get our ocean. So I'm going to do a nice light blue chalk pastel. And when I use chalk pastel, I just kind of like to go around the character of the subject. I don't usually fill it in all the way to the sides. I leave a little bit of space on each side. That's just a stylistic choice. You don't have to do that. You can color it all in if you want. And I do it really rough and loose, just like that, because the great thing about chalk pastel, and I'm going to add a little bit of dark blue here and there, maybe especially along the bottom because it's darker down here. And then I just take my fingers and I can rub it all in, and it comes out really smooth, and then I can rub it into the areas that I didn't actually color, make my way around, go around the jellyfish, push it up in between all of his jellyfish legs, blend this all around like that. That's looking pretty good. Maybe a little bit on that side. And now his helmet, I'm going to use white and a tiny bit of blue, just a tiny bit of blue for his helmet. So I'm going to color this in white, maybe a little bit over top of him. And then I'll add some blue in. So I want it to be a bit lighter than the ocean. So it kind of looks like it's a glass helmet. And I'm going to go over, add a little bit more color since we covered him a little bit with chalk. Like this. There we go. Also, I think I'm going to make the bottom here of my jellyfish a little bit darker, just because there's some shadow down there. It's not getting quite as much light. Maybe the beginning of these too, but I'll leave the edges of his skirt lighter because maybe they're reaching out and getting some of the light. Okay, I think that looks pretty good, but we do need to finish our pencil. So to make the pencil, I'm gonna just color it in yellow, leave the point, maybe add a little bit of orange so it looks more like those pencils we use at school. There we go. Of course, the eraser is gonna be nice and pink. There we go. And then the tip, the very tip, that's where the little lead is, so we'll color that. And I think just to end it, I'm gonna go over some of these lines just a little bit because our chalk pastel sort of cover them up. They're not as dark anymore. Same with his nose. Maybe color his nose in again a little bit darker. And his little ear is kind of disappearing. Okay, good. And then I'll use my finger, push some of the blue up to here. Maybe grab some and put it under here and right there. All right, capybara swimming underwater with a jellyfish. And of course, he's drawing a portrait of a jellyfish.